Previously on Journey to the Juvenile.
You know what I love so much about her is that she wants to turn. I wish she wanted to turn the other way. What's your name? What is your name, big guy? I'm riding 2 more colts and I quit forever till tomorrow again. Shit's hard. We have no idea what's to come. Imagine having to get on a bicycle and teach a bicycle that it was a bicycle. That you push the pedals and that means to go forward. And then you pull the handles and it's supposed to go left and right. And it failed. Let's try again. And we'll just chip away at that until November. We've got a baby Flo baby. We've got a winner's version that I didn't raise. We've got a Lolo baby and then her. That was really great. I'm at the point where I just need to haul her. Like, I just need to go. She's gonna get bored with 2 + 2 + 2 + 2.
All 4 horses are making consistent progress, but it certainly hasn't been smooth sailing. 2 of the horses are clear frontrunners, while the other 2 may have to be held back from competition for another year. On the horizon is another setback that may be life-altering for one of these colts.
She said, no, really, what's his name? And we all looked at each other again and we were like, that's his name. And this is where he falls behind. And I questioned my life.
A 3-year-old first-time run has just run the fastest time thus far.
In the vast expanse of America's heartland, where dreams are forged and champions are made, a group of horse trainers and jockeys embark on a quest that tests their training abilities and challenges the limits of equine greatness. Every stride, every turn, every heart-stopping moment is a testament to the bond forged between horse and human. Through countless hours of patient guidance and tireless devotion, they nurture trust, instill confidence, and unlock the untapped potential within these young equine prodigies. Witness the years of breeding, preparation, and the culmination of a journey to etch their names into barrel racing history at these horses' first competition ever. This is Journey to the Juvenile. In this series, Fallon embarks on a grueling training schedule. 4 young and spirited 3-year-old horses await her guiding hand. But before the competition, a crucial decision awaits. Fallon must carefully select only 1 horse to step into the arena by October 1st. This chosen colt, untouched by competition, bears the weight of anticipation and dreams. Witness the rise of the fastest horse as it charges towards triumph, carrying the dreams of its trainer and the spirit of a champion.
This is a long process, a really long process. Someone told me that watching the first episode of Journey to the Juvenile felt like watching somebody build a supercar or multiple supercars at one time. And that feels accurate because nothing goes exactly how you think it's going to. Every step of the way, there's some sort of hurdle. And even in this episode, you won't see all of the hurdles that we are going to have to overcome. I don't even know what's coming. I don't know what's right around the corner, but I do know that in the end, it's going to be all worth it. The Cremello is surprising me. She's had 20 days. So that's not apples and oranges right now. Like, she is so solid. And now I just need to make some really ugly runs away from home. So I need to start hauling her. Baby Flo Baby is my tippity top of the iceberg front runner. He's just phenomenal. Everything about him, he just gives world champion energy. The winner's version also gives that same rodeo winner, top of the 1D, this mare's gonna win me a lot of money, NFR horse type energy. Golo, aesthetically, when you walk up to her, you're like, she's kind of pudgy, kind of oinky, where you're just like, she probably can't get anywhere. When she is on and dialed in, she is giving me 1000% heart. And again, that heart is something that is really hard to quantify in our horses because a horse could be Cremello, could be 14 hands, could be 17 hands, could be off the track, could be a backyard pet, and still go win something. Immediately when it comes to mind is Rudy, Brittany Isaac, when she went to the NFR on the mare Rudy that she gave like $300 for and was a school project, is built like Golo. Short, stumpy, chunky, like not necessarily the horse that is gonna look the part, but when I ask her and she's dialed in, it is the most insane magic that she gives me. So hard to judge her right now, comparing her to an off-the-track winners version, comparing her to a baby flow baby, the baby flow baby. That's my thoughts right now. I'm most surprised by Flomello, least surprised by the baby flow baby, most excited about baby flow baby. Now it's time to get my horses to a different location. We are extremely blessed to have two ranches very close together. Mega Ranch is our home and the big arena you see behind me, but we also have the original ranch where I trained Baby Flo, which is Mini Ranch, and we have our clothing company located here with all of our employees, and a beautiful barn and an indoor arena, as well as a pasture with all of our brood mares. So we have everything split up quite a bit. And I have made the decision to move all of the young horses over to Mini Ranch. Lots of nostalgia. Your mama was trained in here, lady. And her mama was trained in here.
She was.
To not hit barrels. It's like super nostalgic in here. And it's so weird because we let go our colt starter. Kind of, when I think about it, it's kind of a full circle moment. So when I was a kid, I had a rough spot where I hit $50,000 worth of barrels on Dr. Nick Bar to go to the NFR when I was 9. And my dad's solution was to fire the trainer. And the minute that he did that, and it became my responsibility to clean stalls and feed, and which I wanted to do, but we just thought they knew a lot better than us. But it turned out like my relationship with the horses got closer. It's kind of full circle. We just let go our colt starter because none of us really have a bond with any of the horses. No fault of the colt starter. Like, just, we stayed out of here, we respected her space, and I think because of that, we distanced ourselves from the relationship of this place and like the entire process. When like there wasn't a day that went by in Lolo, Flowbot, or Mojo where I didn't watch them work from my office window. So interesting. There's a bunch of reasons that I did this, but the main reason was as we're working, when my baby goes down for a nap in the afternoon, I can just dart outside and get my riding done, where sometimes the day can get away from me. If you're a mom, you totally understand, but the day and the hours can get away from me so quickly where I don't get the same opportunity that maybe everybody else does to ride. That was by choice, and I'm grateful for that choice and honored to be a mom. But I have to make changes that are gonna facilitate that the very best I possibly can. So in the middle of the workday, I decided I'm going to break up that day and have all of the colts there where I come to work, I can lay my eyes on everybody. Maybe that'll make it a little bit easier to be able to get these horses ridden more consistently. I feel like I've been pretty consistent. This is Flashy though. We moved everything over to Mini Ranch. Today, this is an interesting move because she came out of the stall fresh, which was weird. They're unloading hay and shavings behind me, so that's another like plus of this ranch is there's a lot of action. So, but because it's so small, same size as Thomas and Mac here, because it's so small, she really kind of fooled us that she really had the second and third barrel figured out at Mega Ranch, but here you can see that she really doesn't, and she's trying to figure out leads and how to stay on the correct lead. She never once got the correct lead, I don't think, at the third barrel, and we're not gonna harp on that, but in my mind, this may be one to save for 5-year-old futurities. I mean, we'll see what happens in November, but that's my thought right now. Mini Ranch has a really small indoor arena, and in that arena has walls. Now, typically I don't like to train with walls because they can almost act as bumpers, like when you're bowling, where the horse doesn't really have to make the decision to turn. They're kind of forced to turn because of the wall. So I don't love to train like that. I like them to have the opportunity to mess up so that way they make a better decision later on. But with the way some of these colts are working, I need them, like for instance Flo Mello, I need her to run all the way to the wall. She wants to have a really steady turny style. I want to teach her to run to the wall and be brave and not be afraid of that. I darn sure don't have this one though, bro. Yes.
And neither was Baby Flo.
Correct.
That was beautiful.
I took every bone in my butthole.
I could tell. I was just thinking, I'm like, that's the hardest thing for me to do.
Oh. Big bruise, big bruise. Flashy doe, maybe this is gonna help her finally turn the first barrel and get brave about using her body and having that buffer there to make her make a better decision. I feel like she'd be the nicest 5-year-old.
Yeah, and she will be.
Yeah. She can't get her lead changes here so fast.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was thinking would be such an advantage is here. It's like they got to think so much about turning, just turning.
She, her brain is not computing at all with things.
That's great.
Baby Flo Baby is having a really hard time kind of finding his legs, keeping forward motion, really digging around the barrel. He's just kind of giving us half the energy that we really need from him, still being really consistent, so I'll take it. I think that winners evoke winner vibe, like you can tell by looking at. I can pick the horse that wins every barrel race. They look a certain way, and this horse has that look. Like he just, I don't know. It's a shine, it's an aura. Alex, I was saddling him last night and he goes, "What horse is that that's so massively huge?" And I'm like, he just grew up overnight. Like he's 15-2 all day right now. Flashy doe, even with the tight wall, is feeling even stiffer. So I'm gonna try to find a solution that makes her feel a little bit more broken apart, where I can handle all the pieces and make those turns more fluid, more smooth. I feel like I haven't worked her since we moved him over here. Yeah, this feels pretty fresh. Let's take a look at those flim flams and flippity flaps before we get going too fast. How to get big traps on your body.com. I think my shoulders ache so bad. Woo! Hey. That was a big move. She's hard to trust right now, but I've said that before, so I don't believe me on the ones I don't trust in the beginning. My problem with this mare is that she's not super cerebral.
Yeah.
Like she's not a big thinker, she's a doer.
Yeah.
And she's wanting to do, but she doesn't know what to do. The day that it clicks, she'll be finished. Is she as broke as I want her? Not even close. Am I gonna just slowly go with it? Yeah. It wasn't pretty, but that was the most progress we've had this week. And go low, now that we've moved her, I can have one of my employees help me lunge her during the morning so we can make that seafood diet body come down a little bit. Like we just need, I need her thyroid to thyroid. I need her to have, I mean, don't we all? I need the metabolism to metabolize. So I'm hoping that with this increase in exercise, we can see her start to get a lot more fit. Okay, show them what you're made of, sister. God dang. Whoa. This would be right now, my second place horse. Mm-hmm. Just because she's so sensible, and half of the race at the BFA is how sensible a horse is.
Right. Wow, that was great.
Yeah. And then she comes apart.
Yeah, yeah.
She feels like a front runner just because she's so sound of mind. And I know that's going to change every day, and I don't have baby Flo baby over here today. But she's trying to move her legs really fast and keep her body together. But because she's learning to take the pull, which is like a whole thing, it's going to be a little while before somebody not sitting on her can feel it or see it. Like sitting on her, I can feel it, but to see it is like, you're probably seeing a horse that's a little laggy in my hands. But to be on her back is like, I can feel something. I feel overall like this is going to be a great decision. They're not going to be over here permanently, but we'll see if this doesn't change up the environment a little bit. Plus give them a secondary place to go train, see new scary stuff that they've never seen before or haven't seen lately. So that way we can do a little bit of seasoning at the same time as we are doing training. I just need him to keep his feet clean.
It looks really good.
He's struggling here, which like every horse does. That was great.
That was so good.
Okay. That was some big time stuff. I'm just gonna ask her faster
Yeah.
because she just fumbled at a slow pace.
Whoa! What's he doing?
Hey, come here.
You! God dang, did you see that? You're gonna have to ride this thing pretty soon. It's starting to get fun. Now besides the stop, there's none of that. Let's show them what we're made of, Marshmallow. Wrong lead. Whoa. We shall try that again. We're wearing Mama's World Champion bridle today. Kind of out of necessity. Can't find my other one. Feels really good today. There's been a lot of days off because I've been sick, but it's hard for them in this little pen to think about the next turn because it's so close. So we gotta practice that because the slot race is not very big. It's not a standard. It's like a mid 15. And that's where we have to quit for the day. Well, at least he's hunting the stop. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's getting progressively more broke. And this is how I've accidentally gotten my horses really broke over the years. And this is the first time we documented it, so I'm kind of excited because, you know, we forget about Baby Flo and Neffy and Knick-Knack, but I broke all of them. And they're really, really broke. And I've been telling Cody, like, at some point in this journey, she's gonna have to get on and help me pull around on them. And what I mean by that is, like, when we go exhibition, or if I'm talking to Cody, I'm just pulling. Not a hard pull, but I'm just doing something all the time. Like, I'm never letting them stand still because it takes like thousands of pulls before they realize that our hands are friendly. And it's like the biggest part of it. But hopefully through this journey to the juvenile, you guys are seeing them get progressively more broke. And that's just from a diligent jockey, not from some high dollar trainer that's come in mid-week and been riding them for me because nobody else is riding them. All right, big boy. Good job. Good job. It's time for these horses to go away from home. So I'm gonna rent some arenas. I'm gonna get to some arenas really early to decrease embarrassment and decrease the amount of distractions that are there. I'm not gonna haul every single juvenile colt all at the same time, simply because it's really hard. It's hard on me. If something goes wrong, I wanna have the time to be able to address it in the moment and not have to just skip to the next horse and to the next horse. And that's my big theory behind renting arenas and making sure that I have plenty of time. I really like to have an hour and a half so that, you know, in the middle of the summer, it's really hot and I'm jumping from horse to horse to horse where it's really, really tough to jump on each horse and be able to get what I need done. When we haul away from home, I'm so concerned. Flomelo is doing terrible. She's doing terrible away from home. She's so committed to the barrel pattern. She looks amazing. She hauls great, but every single time I haul her, it's a ridiculous amount of spooking. I mean, a ridiculous amount. I've never had a horse. You can watch every other horse in these exact same scenarios have just kind of not be quite as sharp as they are at home, but you never see one come apart like she does. So this is just taxing for me. And a brand new thing. I've never, ever in 30 years had a horse this spooky. I've had horses that trust me. They're really confident. They want to go in and work, but she's just different. It's just like, I've just never raised one like this. Yeah. I'm gonna have to rent some arenas and ride. When I leave home with these young horses, all of this perfectionism just goes out the window. I want these horses in 3 times or less to just put the barrel pattern together. I'm gonna go through slow, a little faster, and then as fast as I feel like they can go that day.
I mean, so much improved from last time. Nice, go on. Yeah. smoke show was a 16 too, like not that long ago.
Knowing that there's no money on the line, I'm not trying to win anything, so I'm not going as fast as I possibly can. I just want these horses to give me 30% of their training away from home. And then we can build on that. You know, at home, I'm looking for perfect. I'm tweaking these little tiny things. But away from home, when you add in all these distractions, I'm just looking for them to apply their very best at the jackpot, give me 50% of their very best day at the jackpot. And then we build on that.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Nice. These guys are, they're clocking 3D times, I guess, right now. Is that about right?
Yep.
He's 9 days in, clocking 3D times, North Texas, where I run my rodeo horse, my super show horse, my arena record holder horse here. So I know 3D doesn't just mean, you know, down the road. So, most impressed with the Carmelo right now, though. This horse is just simply filling the shoes I want him to fill. So I always act underwhelmed because I'm just like, I know you, I know your soul, you're going to be incredible. But for the Carmelo to pop up, I'm like in shock.
If I were further down the road on this, I would be looking for, okay, we need to be clocking in the 1D every single time, even on the exhibition stakes. That's what I would want. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. To keep from just turning out, I have to keep telling myself to keep my head down and look at my colts and look at the time I've put in and get ready and manifest and visualize, because other people are 2 years ahead of me. So this is just a very realistic timetable of these horses. We're asking for something completely unrealistic. My child is half the age of these colts, and at 3, I would not expect him to do anything competitively in front of a crowd very well. And I keep that in my mind as I watch him grow and learn. So I have almost too much patience for this game, and I'm trying to put myself in overdrive instead of always just going, they're so young, let's let them just be. I want to pat myself on the back for being patient and understanding and having a lot of emotional control, but at the same time, I want to challenge myself that other 3-year-olds are running at the Kentucky Derby. So these colts can give me 15 seconds at Guthrie. Okay, I got an invite from a trainer I have a lot of respect for to go to her place, or to meet up with her at her friend's place, which is an NFR qualifier's place. So basically like a highly esteemed place that I can go and train on these colts. Hers are, I believe, way ahead of mine. I don't know. That's just me making a judgment. My judgment is that her horses are way ahead of mine. I don't know if that's factual or if I'm just being insecure about my horses, but we'll see. Through all of the various hauling outside, we did have some breakthroughs, and that has been so rewarding. I've been looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like we're just not there yet. Flomello, I decided, okay, let's haul outside. It was the hottest day ever, well over 100 degrees. You have to be so careful with these animals. You've got to be so careful with the jockey. You've got to be so careful with your baby that you're hauling around in the truck, to look out and be like, okay, we're going to try this outside. I know I've been concentrating on indoor pins and covered pins because that's where she's going to be competing first, but let's go to an outdoor arena. So we hauled to an outdoor arena. She loved it. Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo!
My best time. She is so nice. And we really couldn't see how nice she was, so we got her outside.
She loved it. I found something that she really likes. It felt like the win of all wins that we finally connected. She felt like an open horse. I didn't ride her great because I was just waiting for her at the third barrel to like go off the rails and catch a glimpse of something. She was fantastic. It felt like, okay, We can do this. I've got a horse underneath me that's trying to be confident, that's going to allow me to be the leader. I worked so hard outside of the arena before I went in. I talked to the people behind the barrels that were setting the barrels, and I said, hey, I don't know if you've seen my TikToks, but this horse is different. And so, you know, please have your head on the swivel when I come in the gate. And she made me look like a complete liar in the best way possible, and I was elated. That breakthrough is what I needed to feel like she's my front runner for right now.
$16,898, 16,898.
Nice.
Golo is still getting in shape. She feels great away from home, super connected. I still need her to feel a lot better.
It's interesting to me that they all do the same thing here. They're fading in, fade out to the left. So I guess when they run into sunlight,
Maybe.
you have to watch it. Running into shadows, they're running fine.
Okay.
And running across shadows, which is interesting.
Yeah, little horse. Woo! Woohoo! Yeah, go on. Yeah. Woohoo! Yeah. All the way. Woo!
And Flashy Doe just simply isn't ready to haul yet. I just feel like she's not there. We'll get there.
She hasn't been away from home many times, right?
However, Baby Flo Baby, who shall be named later, Baby Flo Baby is coming on, and he feels like $1 million. So I'm gonna take him inside, outside, covered, indoor, all of the arenas. He's feeling, even though he doesn't feel like my style, you know, he likes to be really low.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is this one?
Baby Flo, Shawnee Bug Leo.
I really like that one.
It's our favorite of the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, I really like how that one's put together.
Yeah.
I also need to adapt. I need to have a horse do what I want it to do their way, or else I'm not a trainer. If I can only, you know, tell a horse it's got to be done just this way, I'm not much of a trainer. I have to allow that horse to tell me the style that it wants to do something and pull all that good stuff out. If I tell a horse, you know, oh, if you don't turn just this way, and I nitpick, it's just like people, you can nitpick something to death where they just lose all their heart and drive and they feel like everything they're gonna do is gonna get critiqued. So I'm gonna adapt as a jockey to this more low style, even though I don't love it, and just realize that I could love the outcome. And not every horse is baby flow, not every horse is low, not every horse is hush money. Every generation is gonna bring new talent. And I need to let this horse show me everything he's got. And right now it feels phenomenal. So I'm so excited. I have to say that Flomelo stepping up outside and Baby Flow Baby showing me what he's got in every single condition has solidified them as, for sure, my number 1 and number 2 in no particular order. I think I've kind of decided that this is the one that I'm going to take to the slot race, but you know, anything could happen. Colts get hurt. Listen, yeah, I know you need a name. I know you need a name. He's just so dapper that I don't want to get the name wrong, because he's so like elegant and astute and smart. I received a phone call from an employee at the ranch that Baby Flow Baby was not acting right. And I was like, okay, this is par for the course. Just right when you have one going, and I hate to speak that into the universe, but it always seems like right when you start to make some headway, there's some resistance. And Alex and I rushed to the barn, and it looked like Baby Flow Baby was choking.
Just like he has the mannerisms of like, that's why I like put him, I was like a little here, like
See him quivering up his head? That's the part I do not love. But I'm hoping it's just that muscle reaction.
That's what I think.
He had a giant lump in his throat. He was holding his head really weird. He was almost going ataxic, which is just loss of use of stuff. So neurological is what I call it, but where they kind of sway a little bit and look like they're gonna fall. I immediately called Dr. Hannah. She's phenomenal, and we are so blessed that she is right up the road. So we called Dr. Hannah out. I trust her with everything, and I just said, hey, that really cute Baby Flow Baby is, something's wrong. And I said, I don't mean to call it an emergency, but I feel like, you know, if you've got a colic surgery or something, put us on the bottom of the list, but this feels emergent. So she rushed out. She was there within an hour and took a look at him.
Constant, like a weird grunt when you get up to his mouth, like to check his gums.
Is he out or is he in the stall?
He's in the stall.
He went out
No,
for 30 minutes yesterday.
yeah, no cubes or anything. Alfalfa only.
Is he normally this small?
Yes. But he's not normally got his neck strung out like that. Like in the stall, he was like, would set back if you come up close to him. I don't mean to be morbid, but
Part of it. Was he normal this morning when they first checked?
Took a look at him and started to oil him and treat him for choke, which we thought it was. And then she sedated him to make sure that we were covering all of our bases. The minute that the sedation went in him, he began to fall down.
He's like wobbling back in. He's trying to go down. Just so y'all know.
Is he?
He's trying to go down.
Right here.
This isn't indicative of anything, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, it could be. There's a lot of different things.
Hey, do you need Alex to step in there, or you?
You gonna hold him?
Hold that.
Yeah, okay, we can take that off. Oh boy, you're okay. Let's go walk him out.
Take him outside. Yeah. Fulia, you walking this way?
Not a little bit, but a lot. Alex and Dr. Hannah held him up. I believe Cody, myself, Jesse, all of us were just making sure he was going to stay standing. And we realized it wasn't a choke. She drew blood, and we had to wait 4 really, really, really long days before we got the results that he had tested highly positive for EPM. Now, this is my first round of a true EPM diagnosis. Most horses will test in a range for EPM just based on environmental issues and where you are geographically. This was my first time to kind of have one that was like off the charts. So what does that mean? You know, what does this mean for his career? How long does he need to be treated? How long am I going to have to stay off of him? Dr. Hannah turned to us and she said, "What's old boss man's name?" And Cody, Jesse, and I said, "Boss man."
And that's how they're named. You find a stray dog and a stray name, and that's how it goes. I have chills all over my body, so I really hope he lives.
Dr. Hannah just called him Boss Man. We said, you know what? That's his name.
She said, "No, really, what's his name?" And we all looked at each other again and we were like, that's his name. Boss man is incredible. He is responding to treatment, but it's going to be a long road before we know exactly what this EPM diagnosis means for his career. He definitely is going to be taken out of the top 2 for the running. We've got to do what's best for him, what's best for his longevity. We care about his 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old year as a barrel horse as much as we care about this 3-year-old juvenile year. So that's going to be a major, huge thing for us to overcome. And for someone, I'm so blessed. I have several of these horses, but I can empathize with people, and I have been the person that's only horse has gone down. And in that moment, how devastating it is, especially because you have so many hopes and dreams. It feels selfish. It feels like I really wanted to do well at this slot race, and I wanted to show people that I was a really great trainer, instead of going, I wonder how he feels in this moment. I wonder if he's going to respond. I wonder if he's going to recover. So a lot of soul searching, a lot of character building, and a lot of recovery is going to go into this process. And I can't wait to keep everybody posted. So it's like a strange thinking that I need to have a backup horse for a juvenile race, but the entry fee is $5,000, and there's literally not another event that I pay that much to enter. So if you think of it that way, a backup 3-year-old. It's an odd way to think, but I do have a backup in mind. The bright spot out of this really dark diagnosis is that now I can narrow it down to 3 horses. And anytime you can focus your attention a little bit better, it's a little easier to get stuff done. So now we've gone from 4 to 3, and I'm just going to give myself the encouragement that that means that I have extra time to spend on Flashy Dough and getting that first barrel really to make some progress, and can dedicate a lot more time to Flomello. She's instantaneously like the number one. So I need to have a little bit more focus. So the only thing that this has done is really had me start to really focus down and go, okay, he may not be there, so let's get these other horses to step up. You still need a number two out of this group. I have a lot to do for Flashy Doe before I can feel like she's even in the, she's not even in the top 10 at this point, like if there were 10 or 20, simply because I've got to have her feel more broke to be able to trust her to understand what this barrel needs to feel like and fundamentally how she can make that happen. She's great at going in straight lines fast, which is fantastic, and we're going to use that, but it's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to have to come up with some new things and kind of dig in my toolbox of things that I've even forgotten before I can do her justice. And there's a huge responsibility when you don't raise one, when you buy one from somebody that you have a lot of respect for. You want to do right by that colt. So I just want to be a good steward of all the hard work that's been done thus far. I raise my own colts. I know how long it takes to get the mare bred and all the trips to the breeding farm and all the stud fees we pay and all the incidents you go through, like we're going through with Boss Man, to get them to the point where someone else can swoop in and buy them. So I'm just hoping that through this process and having to be so transparent with this documentary all the time, that I can do right by this filly and not just stop. She's willing, like she's showing me she wants to learn, she wants to do more, she wants to take on more responsibility, and every single time it gets a little bit tough, I back off on her, and I think I'm needing to push her a little bit more because I think that she can handle it. Part of the journey has been beautiful, ups and downs, and such a roller coaster. From having a unicorn born that I thought, man, I don't pick a Cremello to go run, to now being bonded and making some leaps and bounds with her. She's feeling so good. I'm feeling really, really hopeful that this deadline that I'm unrealistically hoping comes together at the very end, it's feeling attainable. And she's feeling like the horse for me, and I'm really excited. But in the balance waits a horse that I think could beat her like that if he just had a fair shake. So watching him recover in a stall is not easy. Trusting my vet, trusting the medication to work is really hard. Am I going to lose a month? Am I going to lose 3 weeks? Am I going to lose 2 weeks? Am I going to lose a year? I just don't know yet. Is he going to pop up last minute and be my number one again? I mean, that would be fantastic. The great news is, as we go through this journey, I'm learning so much about myself. You know, self-confidence is about your ability to follow through on the things that you want to achieve. And I'm building self-confidence again in myself as a trainer and setting deadlines and meeting them. So I'm going to keep pushing through. That being said, I have a lot of hope in a little red mare, and it's not the first time I've ever had that. I don't think she's going to let me down, and I'm getting the butterflies. I cannot wait to see exactly what happens, because I know this roller coaster is just getting started.
On the next episode of Journey to the Juvenile.
And then there was one. You gotta be joking. Woo! Got us the Juvenile pony.